You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, Iola city officials are cracking down on overgrown yards.
Also, a plane crashes in Grove, Oklahoma. We have the details.
And we've got a beautiful start to the day with even some below average temperatures out there. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's just after 7 o'clock on this Thursday, August the 21st. Got a nice start today, got a nice day ahead of us, and city officials working hard in Iola.
Yes, Iola homeowners face a new reality. Ignore your messy yard and the city cleans it up, then sends you the bill. The top new ordinance officials are considering.
Most of the stuff that's in the yard is not trash. We just need to find a place to put it.
Robin Evans is an Iola resident. She says she's been getting a number of violations from the city about her yard. But Evans says she's going through some tough times.
We lost our shop last year. We moved everything from our house to our shop, and the building got bulldozed last year.
Evans says she's sick of the city giving her a hard time about her yard, but the city says they are too. They say they already have an ordinance in place, but it needs to be stricter.
We're adding to the ordinance a clause that will give the city the authority to go on the property and clean it up should the resident not comply with the court order.
I get that we need to clean up the trash. I understand that.
French says the offending resident will fit the bill if the city cleans their yard. And French says you better pay or else.
The debt will go on the property.
City manager Matt Ryder says this ordinance needs to pass.
We do have some properties that get fined and fined and fined, and they just aren't being cleaned up. And this gives us the teeth to actually do that.
Request an additional 10 days if they need it to clean up their property. So we're trying to continue to work with individuals.
They have been harassing us for 8 years since we moved here. Any little thing that we have on our property, they are constantly sending us letters. If he has his trailer in the yard, he gets a letter for it.
And the family says they're doing all that they can to get things back in order. They say any professional that's willing to help, they would gladly appreciate it. Reporting in Iola, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
The city manager says the ordinance goes before the council on Monday, and he thinks the bill will have no problems passing.
Of course, a number of communities have different
Sure.
ordinances to ensure the upkeep of yards and properties and things like that. But there's also those challenges like they were facing that do
Of
make
course.
it difficult sometimes
Certainly
as well. Well, we've got a very nice day ahead of us, a very nice start to the morning as well. We're going to start with a live look in downtown Pittsburgh, and there it is. Sun's rising, a few clouds off to our east. We're otherwise looking pretty good. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking back to the north. Also looking good as folks get their day underway, and for Joplin's second day of school now, and I know for others out there, you're in your second week of school already, and this one's been a little bit better. Wait till you see next week a little later today. We'll show you that, and it'll be even nicer for the last week of August, which is rare to say. Future track into the afternoon. As you can see, just a few clouds here and there, but it's really not much to discuss in terms of our weather, at least over the next 48 hours, and then we'll start to see some changes. Quick look at temperatures, 67 in both Joplin and Pittsburgh and around the area. We are sitting into the mid to upper 60s. Bentonville at 70 is the warm spot right now, and we've got Parsons, Miami, both look to be the cooler spots. Just a quick scan here, sitting at 65. So again, a pretty nice start to the day for us. And as we head into the afternoon, or through the day rather, upper 70s by 9, mid 80s by noon, highs about 90. So hot, but seasonably hot. And heat index values, though it's still a bit muggy, could reach the mid 90s. So maybe a little uncomfortable, but not extreme like what we saw last week and earlier this week. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. These temperatures are going to continue for a bit, and then we've got some big changes as we roll into next week. Details on all that, plus some rain chances here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, a man suffering from a rare infection has died in a St. Louis area hospital. Recently, we brought you the story of a Missouri resident who had contracted a brain infection typically caused by an amoeba. Public health officials investigating the source of the patient's exposure believe the infection could have come from water skiing at the Lake of the Ozarks. While infections remain rare, experts say the amoeba can be found in warm, fresh water across the United States. The Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services confirms the man died yesterday. On a break from current recommendations from the Centers for Disease Control, another medical group says infants and young children should get COVID-19 vaccine shots. The American Academy of Pediatrics says all children 6 to 23 months should get vaccinated unless they have known allergies and a single dose for some kids ages 2 to 18. While the CDC argues COVID-19 shots for kids 6 months to 17 years should be based on shared clinical decision making. Well, federal authorities began an investigation into a plane crash in Grove, Oklahoma yesterday morning. The crash happened around 8:30 at the Grove Regional Airport. Although the investigation is underway, what authorities do know is a private plane landed at the airport, then flipped over onto its top. The owner and pilot of the single-engine plane suffered non-life-threatening injuries. And of course, to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. The future of a city-owned grocery store in Erie, Kansas is up in the air once again. The city purchased the Erie Market in 2020 with the goal of keeping a local store in town. Now, 1 year ago, River Grocery LLC leased the store and took over operations. But as KOAM's Samantha Walker reports, the company plans to close the store's doors at the end of the month.
In less than 2 weeks, the doors of the Erie Market are expected to close once more. The store, formerly known as Stubbs, was purchased by the city of Erie when its owners decided to retire. The decision was controversial, but the hope was to keep a market in town.
As far as buying meat and produce, there's no place to go within 20 miles.
But the city has struggled to operate the Erie Market since the purchase. Last year, city staff told KOAM owning the store is difficult and costly for the city, so the best thing for its future in town was to let someone else take over. 1 year ago, River Grocery LLC began leasing the market and took over operations. At that time, the company's owner told us he understood the importance of rural grocery stores from when one in his hometown closed.
The whole town just basically died. Even the school, there's not even a school in town anymore. And so just for whatever reason, I feel like it's the right thing to do.
But store staff were recently informed the company is going to cease operations by the end of August, when River Grocery's 1 year lease with the city expires.
I figured that they would stay. I didn't think it was going to close. I wanted to stay open for the community.
Staff and customers say while the closure is surprising, they've noticed shelves become more and more bare over the past few months.
We haven't had a truck for about 90 days or more.
I reached out to the city of Erie, and city staff confirmed that the city does maintain ownership of the market property, but that they're still trying to learn more about these operational changes. Community members now worry about the future of the market and their access to fresh and affordable groceries.
I guess if they have the money with the economy nowadays to drive to Schnute or Parsons to get groceries, then go for it. I don't. I'm on Social Security. I got hurt last year. I only have a little bit of money, so I try to do all my business in Erie.
The community now fears this is the end of the store, a blow for the town.
Right now, the impact for the town will be not so much because we've gotten used to going out of town to buy our groceries, but it's going to be difficult to attract people to move to town because there's no grocery store, and you have to have groceries.
Do you see it having a future here?
No, I see an empty building setting right across the street. This town's going to turn into a ghost town.
Reporting in Erie, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
We did reach out to the owner of River Grocery LLC for a statement. He agreed, but we are still waiting to hear back. And those are our top news stories coming up this half hour. A balloon popping ceremony for students at George Nettles Elementary School in Pittsburgh. And an interview with the real-life rodeo clown and an announcer. They'll tell us more about the fun family rodeo in Miami this weekend. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Time now, 7:09. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from the Lamar Free Fair. Welcome back. We have Captain Austin Wolf from the Joplin Police Department with us this morning today to discuss some back-to-school safety tips for your family. Captain, good morning. Welcome. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Of course, back to school yesterday. Kids in Joplin headed back to school. So with that, of course, comes some safety reminders for parents and their kids going to and from school. Talk to me about kind of one of the number one or overarching issues that you see a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's that time of year again. Joplin opened up yesterday. A lot of area schools have been opened up over the week, and we're seeing more and more kids going to and from school, which means kids on the sidewalks, kids on the roadways. And so one of the biggest things, and I say this a lot, is for families to have a plan and to create a plan for those kids that are walking to and from school, especially those first timers. And that plan can consist of parents walking with their kids, showing them routes to school, taking the time to explain traffic safety, traffic signals and things of that nature. One of the biggest things is prepare a secondary route. If a primary route is closed for an emergency or something else, that way if a kid encounters that, it's not the first time and they've got a backup plan, and we don't want to see any kids lost, which kind of is a new trending thing. But another thing that parents can kind of think about is being able to track their kids to and from school.
Yes. Certainly.
And so one of the big things that we're seeing that again is getting really popular is, especially for the younger kids, is putting air tags on their backpacks or their bicycles, however, wherever they want. That way the parent can look at their phone and see on a map where their kids are at any given time, you know. And for the older kids, Live 360 or some other application where parents can quickly look in real time and see where their kids are at.
Of course. Talk to me, of course we mentioned walking. Any specific bike safety tips you have for students?
Number one, wear a helmet. We don't want to see any injuries that can last or significant injuries, you know. And sometimes kids leave before the sun comes up. So good lighting on bicycles is really, really important. That way they're being seen by motorists.
Absolutely. Any for kids who wait or walk home from the bus stop, any specific stranger danger tips to keep in mind that parents can explain to their kiddos?
Sure. One of the big things, if it's possible, travel in larger groups or have somebody else.
Of course.
And if there is an issue, report it immediately. You know, sometimes we only know what we know because people report it, and if people don't report it to us, we don't have the ability to go back in time. So report it. If you see something, say something.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Some important safety reminders. Of course, make sure you have a plan as your kiddos head back to school. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 7:17 now on this Thursday morning. Starting with a live look from downtown Pittsburgh. Skies are clear, looking pretty good. At New College of Business, looking pretty good as well, making quick work of that building down there. And from the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line, looking great as well this morning. Folks getting their morning commute underway, and onto the future track we go. Now today, tomorrow's really not much to show. We got a few passing clouds. That's really going to be about it, and that'll continue through today, tonight, and into our Friday as well. Mostly clear skies. We'll have seasonably hot temperatures, which we'll go over in just a moment as well. But otherwise, we're remaining dry. We'll have a light north breeze, by the way, tomorrow as well. Then we go into Saturday. Through the morning hours, we start to see clouds gradually increase, eventually going partly cloudy as we roll into the afternoon. And then we could see isolated pop-up shower and thunderstorm chances. So most of us will remain dry as we head through Saturday, but some of us will get a little rain by Saturday afternoon and into the early evening hours. As for today, though, again, already got a couple of clouds out there looking off to the northwest from 7th and Range Line. Otherwise, expecting clear skies, low 70s by 8 o'clock this morning, mid 80s by 11 a.m., and seasonably hot. So our temperatures right about where they should be, with our highs cruising up to about 90. However, still might be a little muggy out there today, so we're looking at heat index values maybe reaching about the mid-90s. So not extreme, but still a bit on the uncomfortable side for some of us. And again, just a few clouds, northeast breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Going into the evening, we stay fairly warm initially. We'll be back into the low 80s by 8, upper 70s by 10. Still just a few clouds here and there, but then take a look at that. low to mid 60s. Just a few clouds overnight, calm winds. Our temperatures now below normal by quite a bit. We should still be about 69, 70 this time of year. And take a look at the sunset as well, now at 8:02. In fact, as I mentioned earlier this month, through the whole month of August, we end up losing an hour of daylight as we start to get a little closer to fall. Now, as we go into Monday, again, some isolated to widely scattered showers, thunderstorms out there. Those will continue as we head through Monday into the afternoon, evening, get a little pause overnight. As future track, it's picking up on the cloud cover in the right place, but it's keeping the rain further southwest. But I do believe for Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll have at least some isolated to widely scattered shower and thunderstorm chances out there. But again, the future track itself is, for some reason, it's keeping that rain a little further to the southwest, and maybe that's how it ends up playing out. But I do believe we're going to have slightly better rain chances as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday as well. But as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, boy, we are talking some big changes. Seasonably hot again, low 90s through Saturday. Pop-up storm chances. Overnight lows staying a bit below normal. Not bad Sunday. Sunny skies, upper 80s out there. But then take a look at how we start the last week of August, more like the last week of September. We've got temperatures upper 70s, low 80s. We've got some rain chances. And look at our overnight lows. Bear in mind, again, they should be almost 70 degrees. We're talking mid-upper 50s. To start next week. So we could be even potentially looking at record lows as we start next week, falling back into the 50s. And the nice thing is we stay that way through next week as well. Temperatures below normal, upper 70s, low 80s, and those lows below normal as well, upper 50s and low 60s. So enjoy because it'll be a very nice break from this summer heat. That's Check Your Forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Welcome back. This morning we have Colton, Ulmer, and Monty Stevie from Rodeo Miami with us this morning to talk about a Rodeo Miami event at the Miami Fairgrounds happening this weekend. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good morning. Good morning.
So the Rodeo Miami, tell me about what it is and what folks can expect when they come out.
Well, I'll start. It's the 15th year that Rodeo Miami has been going on. Out of those 15 years, 14 times it's been voted the Rodeo of the Year. It's the largest payout in the American Cowboy Rodeo Association, making it the largest rodeo of the year. All the major top cowboys and cowgirls come out. You're going to see the best of the best in our business, and a lot of finals qualifiers, a lot of champions that'll be here this weekend, all going for a big piece of the pie. So,
of course, and so when folks come out, they'll of course be hearing directly from you as the announcer. Talk to me just what it is to take on that role and just to feel the excitement from the crowd.
Well, I bring all the stats, all the information of the rodeo, say thank you to all the sponsors, John Vance, Buffalo Run Casino, the City of Miami, Woody's. There's so many of them that fund the rodeo, that add to that $25,000 that we're going to pay out. Keep everybody up to date what's going on, who's winning what the livestock is. Hampton Pro Rodeo's coming back, 25-time stock contractor of the year. So the best of the best is here, and I just lay it all out there and let everybody know who is who.
All right, it's an important job.
Yeah.
And Colton, you are the rodeo clown. So for those who might not know what a rodeo clown is, talk to me about your role and what it is to take on it.
Yeah, so yes, I'm the rodeo clown. I am the guy that keeps the energy going, everybody having fun. That's my job. So, in rodeo, it's live with live animals.
Right.
And, things can go, sometimes
anything
can happen. Sometimes maybe an animal don't want to stand still in a chute, or somebody's got to adjust their horse or something. Well, sometimes there can maybe be a little bit of downtime. Well, instead of sitting there and, twiddling your thumbs waiting, that's my time to shine. So I'm there to keep that flow going. And essentially, like I said, I'm there to make sure everybody is having a good time from start to finish, whether it's clapping, cheering, up dancing a little bit. I like to have a lot of fun. I like to dance. And so, like I said, it's my job to just the entertainment, keep the energy levels high, and make sure everybody leaves there with a smile on their face.
Absolutely. So, of course, the rodeo kicks off tomorrow. Talk to me about the cost of the event to attend, dates, times, certain specific highlights.
Okay, we kick off tomorrow night, Kids Night, R6 Recycling Kids Night. A kid gets in free with the purchase of an adult ticket, and the first 300 kids on Friday night will get a free t-shirt. You can buy advance tickets at all area West Coast. or you can get a hold of the Miami CVB, Convention and Visitors Bureau. Advance tickets are $12. They're $15 at the gates. There's all kinds of concessions. There's vendors.
Plenty of food to eat.
Plenty of food to eat.
Yes. Great.
And the atmosphere is just a beautiful atmosphere. You won't walk into any other atmosphere that looks and sounds and Rodeo Miami. It's the best of the best from the time you walk in till the time you leave.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Of course, Rodeo Miami kicks off tomorrow, goes all weekend long. If you want to see these guys in action, be sure to do so. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30. I'm Elise Snowy. Well, as the school year kicks off, students at George Nettles Elementary in Pittsburgh celebrated with the House of Dragons balloon popping party yesterday.
It's so intimidating, especially for my students who may not speak the same language. They get to come in, and on day one, they have a family, they have a house, they have community. And for all students that, starting a new school or a new school year with new classmates, that can be intimidating. But to know, oh, my family's got my back, my house.
Through the program, students will have the opportunity to form deeper connections as they'll be grouped with classmates from all grade levels. And South Middle School Principal Jacob Williams has been named the Southwest Missouri Middle School Principal of the Year by the Missouri Association of Secondary School Principals. Williams was recognized at a back-to-school morning assembly yesterday and was joined by his family and district administrators for the celebration. He said, quote, "I'm truly humbled by this honor. If there's anything I've done to deserve the recognition like this, the credit belongs to the incredible people I get to work with every day at South and across Joplin schools. It is a privilege to work alongside such talented, compassionate, and dedicated educators." Well, the bell rings, the doors open, and school is back in session. Soaring Heights Elementary pickup was busy at the first day of school yesterday. Now, the first day was all about safety and schedules as the students will spend the day relearning what it means to share the building with more than 500 other people.
For the first day is huge. So we start months in advance, planning out our master schedule, making sure that all students have equity to access and instruction. We also start setting goals together as a team to decide what we're going to focus on this year. And then the teachers start showing up several weeks in advance to prepare classrooms so that they're absolutely perfect learning environments for all of our kids.
The students spent the day relearning what it means to, of course, share the building with more than 500 other people, and the learning will continue today. Well, with the cost of most goods on the rise, including clothes and school supplies, about half of back-to-school shoppers started earlier this year. Now, if you didn't already get a jump on it, Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more ways to save money as the school year gets underway.
On average, K through 12 students are spending just under $250 each on back-to-school clothing, according to the National Retail Federation. But some are hoping to slash that price tag by opting to shop secondhand instead.
Secondhand shopping is big for me. I'm doing a lot of eBay, Poshmark.
Shoppers today are smart and they're intentional.
Parents are going to thrift stores, at home searching online resale retailers, and heading to pop-up consignment events like Just Between Friends to buy pre-owned clothes to outfit their children for the new school year at a fraction of the price.
If you take, for example, a $100 budget that a parent might have for one of their children, that could buy a couple of outfits, but you take that same $100 and you use that in a secondhand or a thrift store environment, and that $100 can buy an entire wardrobe for a full season.
While you can get quality, name brand items, many with the tag still attached, it's not just clothing. Parents and students can thrift most of their back-to-school shopping list.
You can find backpacks, lunch boxes, sports cleats, new dance shoes. We know all of those things also start up again in the fall. Musical instruments, calculators. It is like a one-stop shop on a budget.
Largely, people shop secondhand to stretch those back-to-school bucks, but it also helps preserve the planet, with millions of tons of unwanted clothes tossed in the trash each year.
In addition, there's also a growing awareness among consumers that shopping secondhand is really good for the planet. And so it is keeping all of that stuff out of landfills by giving them a second life. And that feels good for consumers.
In New York, Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Let's head over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Now, we've got a pretty nice start to the day out there. Clear skies from our camera downtown Pittsburgh. You can see a cloud out there, and that's really about all we'll see today. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line in Joplin. Plentiful sunshine. Folks getting their day underway as we get closer and closer to the 8 o'clock hour. And for our future track, not really much to show, again, other than just a few clouds here and there. Mostly clear skies. Temperatures will be seasonably hot today, so not too out of control. About what we should expect for this time of year. That's really going to do it. Temperatures right now we're at 67 in Joplin, 66 in Pittsburgh. And as we look at temperatures around the region, a cool start for us for sure. We got mid-upper 60s. Bentonville right now is the warm spot at 70. And we've got Parsons and Chautauqua both as the cooler spots at 65 as we start this day. So again, a bit below normal, not significantly so, but a bit below average out there, which means we'll have a pretty decent day. Upper 70s by 9, mid-80s by noon, about 90 for our highs. So that's where our high should be for this time of year. It's still going to be a bit on the muggy side, so heat index values could approach the mid-90s. So not extreme like what we have seen, but still a little uncomfortable out there. And we'll have that northeast breeze 5 to 10. Temperatures are about to take a pretty big dive as we start into the last week of August. We'll go over that and some upcoming rain chances with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise? She's over there. She's waiting. I promise she is. In the meantime, though, it's going to be nice. Did I mention that? It's going to be nice.
All right, Chris, thanks. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Hertz and Amazon team up to try and sell you a car. We'll take a look. Time now, 7:36. We'll be right back. But first, here's a live look from the Lamar Free Fair. In Consumer Watch, PlayStation prices are going up. Sony says it will impose an increase of $50 on every PlayStation 5 console as gamers become the latest consumers to get hit by President Trump's tariffs. The PS5 prices will jump to $550 starting today. Sony says Trump's tariffs on Japanese electronics are costing it $685 million annually. Well, Hertz and Amazon want to sell you a car. The companies are teaming up to make it easier for you to buy one. Amazon Autos launched last year and sells used and certified pre-owned vehicles. It participates with dealers in more than 130 cities. Now, Hertz and Amazon will offer used cars within 75 miles of Dallas, Houston, Los Angeles, and Seattle. It plans to expand 45 Hertz car sales across the U.S. Hertz has been forced to sell some electric vehicles as many of its customers continue to prefer gas-powered cars. Well, Target is reporting second quarter earnings and revenue that topped Wall Street's expectations. The big box retailer also just named a new CEO. Fox Business correspondent Jeff Flock has more.
For the first time in a decade, one of America's most popular places to shop is getting a new CEO. Unfortunately, it wasn't what Wall Street wanted. The new man, not so new, is Michael Fidelki, 49 years old and the consummate Target insider. He is currently the COO, formerly CFO at Target. He's been here 20 years. He'll be replacing Brian Cornell, who has been on the job as CEO since 2014. Cornell built Target into a $100 billion a year behemoth and got high marks until he ran into some problems with Target's Pride merchandise line, which turned some customers off, particularly the items for children. Target then pulled back a bit. And that, of course, ticked off the other side of that debate, and the sales haven't recovered. The incoming CEO says he knows, although there's been progress, turnaround is going to be a heavy lift.
Despite the solid foundation that's been established, our performance over the last few years has not been acceptable. While we're proud of the many ways that Target is unique in American retail, we have real work in front of us. And to be blunt, we need to move faster. Much faster.
In the second quarter, Target sales down almost a full percent. Same-store sales down 3.2%. Digital, though, was up. Target now facing heavy competition from the likes of Walmart and Amazon. Analysts also point to out-of-stock items being a problem at Target, also long waits to check out. And, of course, now tariffs. The outgoing CEO said that has been a problem.
As one of the largest importers in the country, the prospect of higher tariffs meant we were facing some major financial and operational hurdles as we entered the year. This was further complicated by the multiple changes in tariff policy that have been announced and implemented as the year has progressed.
Target's slogan is expect more, pay less. Unfortunately, Wall Street was expecting more, and now you can pay less for Target stock. But we'll see how that turnaround goes. In Philadelphia, I'm Jeff Flock with the Fox Business Network.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:44 on this Thursday morning. Take another look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Again, got a couple of clouds, and that's really about the most that we should see through the majority of today. Otherwise, plentiful sunshine. MoDOT camera 20th and range line. Now we're looking at plentiful traffic as we get a little closer to the start of the workday for many folks. Kind of getting in there, getting ready for the day or whatever it is you may be doing. And it's going to be a pretty good day for us as well. Just a few clouds here and there. It'll be hot. It'll be a little muggy, but not anything like what we had seen over the last several days here as we've really felt the effects of summer. Well, mostly clear skies overnight tonight. This will continue into our Friday as well. Not expecting much out there, just a few passing clouds at best. Saturday, though, we'll start to see clouds gradually increase through the morning hours. We'll start to go partly cloudy, and then as we roll into the afternoon, we'll see opportunities for isolated to widely scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Most of us on Saturday will be dry, but we could get a few scattered or well, at least isolated showers and storms out there, and then rain chances pick back up again next week. And as those rain chances increase, our temperatures really begin to decrease. Got a few more clouds now from our camera at 7th and range line in Joplin. Again, otherwise a pretty decent day. Low 70s to start our day, mid 80s by 11 o'clock this morning. Highs will be seasonably hot, and of course that just means that at 90, that's about where we should be for this time of year. But as I mentioned, it's going to be a smidge on the muggy side, so we're looking at heat index values at about the mid-90s out there. We'll have northeast winds at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we head into the evening hours, we're going to, again, stay warm initially. Upper 70s by 10. By the way, look at our sunset, 8:02. It's because throughout the month of August, we mentioned this earlier this month, but we in total will lose 1 hour of daylight as we get slowly but surely closer to fall. And look at these temperatures, very fall-like, low to mid 60s. A few clouds here and there. Winds will be calm overnight. As I mentioned, though, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll have some isolated to widely scattered shower and thunderstorm chances. Now, future track as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday right now, it's keeping rain a little further southwest. It's got the clouds in the right spot. I just feel like it's got the rain a little too far southwest. It won't be a lot of rain, and there's going to be a fair number of us that may remain dry as we go into Tuesday, well, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But I do think at least through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll have some opportunities for some isolated to widely scattered showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms out there. Nothing too wild, nothing too crazy, but do expect a little more rain chances than what future track is picking up on right now. Here's what we've got, though. So seasonably hot through Saturday, low 90s, our lows dropping below normal. Sunday looks good, upper 80s, sunny skies, but then look at Sunday night, upper 50s. Bear in mind our average low is about 70 degrees this time of year. Look at Monday night, 55. Look at these highs, upper 70s. Our average high is about 90. We're dropping well below normal. Last week of August here, and it's more like the last week of September. Upper 70s, low 80s, and our overnight lows remaining below normal as well, into the upper 50s and low 60s, so a nice extended break from the heat we've seen, and it'll be a very nice break as well. Those temperatures quite pleasant across the area. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, some cruise lines had to change their itineraries to avoid rough conditions caused by Hurricane Erin.
Now, as of this morning, Hurricane Erin is a Category 2 strength hurricane with winds at about 105 miles an hour, and it's going to be tossing up to 35-foot waves near its center.
Fox News multimedia reporter Asher Red is at Port Canaveral in Florida with more.
Royal Caribbean's Vision of the Seas was one of the first cruise ships to change its itineraries to avoid Hurricane Erin. On Sunday, the ship diverted here to Port Canaveral instead of going to Bermuda as planned. Most of the ships that are scheduled to travel to the Eastern Caribbean Tuesday through Thursday will go west instead to places like Mexico, Jamaica, and the Bahamas. MCO's World America, Disney Treasure, 2 Norwegian cruise ships, and 3 Carnival ships also changed their itineraries to avoid Erin's path. At least 2 ships that were scheduled to go to Bermuda ended up traveling to Canada instead. 2 ships coming from New York and New Jersey docked at Port Canaveral Tuesday as planned, but one passenger says getting here wasn't the smoothest ride.
As you're walking through like the top deck by the pool, you actually feel yourself like, stumble because the boat was so rocky. They put out I guess barf bags by the railings just in case that people needed it, but it was definitely the rockiest ship that I've ever been on so far.
Most modern cruise ships have stabilizers that extend from the ship's hull. The captain of the ship can extend the stabilizers to reduce swaying in rough water. But travel experts are still encouraging passengers, especially nervous ones during hurricane season, to have a backup plan.
If you're going to shell out tens of thousands of dollars, especially for a cruise, you might want to also invest in cancel for any reason insurance that would cover you in the event of a hurricane even.
Travel agents say passengers should not hesitate to ask for at least a partial refund. In Cape Canaveral, Florida, Asher Red, Fox News.
Yeah, I can't begin to imagine what it's like trying to ride through one of those in a hurricane.
There.
Yeah,
Oh,
indeed,
my goodness.
indeed. Of course, the hurricane not making landfall in the U.S., but getting close enough, as we discussed earlier this week, that it's going to cause some issues out there.
Yes.
We are looking at a pretty nice day. One more look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Looks great. Just a few clouds here and there. MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line again. Just a few clouds. Otherwise, plentiful traffic. That's one thing we've got as folks get this day underway. Our future track today and tomorrow, again, just showing us with those mostly clear skies, a few clouds here and there, but otherwise we stay dry today and into our Friday as well. By Saturday, though, we go through the morning Saturday, we'll start to see gradually increasing clouds and eventually going partly cloudy through the morning by the afternoon. And as we roll a little later into the afternoon on Saturday, isolated though widely scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms will be possible. No severe weather is expected, but could get a couple of rumbles of thunder here and there. We'll have clear skies through the morning, maybe just a few clouds, low 70s to start and into the mid 80s by 11. Got another look at your forecast and the wake up recap right after this.
Well, this is your wake up recap for August 21st. The top stories to start your day. Iola city officials say they're fed up with repeat offenders ignoring yard nuisance orders. After handing out fine after fine with little change, city leaders are now pushing for a tougher ordinance, one that would allow them to step in, clean up the mess, and send the bill straight to the homeowner. Oklahoma authorities have launched an investigation into a plane crash that occurred at Grove Regional Airport. The incident took place yesterday morning when a private single-engine aircraft flipped over onto its top shortly after landing. Fortunately, the owner and pilot of the plane escaped with non-life-threatening injuries. Federal investigators are now working to determine the cause of the crash. And the South Middle School principal, Jacob Williams, has been honored as the Southwest Missouri Middle School Principal of the Year by the Missouri Association of Secondary School Principals. Williams received the award at a back-to-school assembly yesterday, celebrating with his family and district administrators. And that's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And we've got a seasonably hot day ahead of us. Highs about 90 degrees, a few clouds here and there. Northeast breeze 5-10, a little muggy, so could get heat index values up to about the mid 90s. So not bad, but not great either. Still warm through the evening, upper 70s by 10 and below normal overnight, falling back into the low to mid 60s. Just a few clouds. We'll stay seasonably hot through Saturday. Some pop-up storms possible next week, though. We got rain chances, and we need some rain, but take a look at those temperatures. It's not the last week of August. That's like the last week of September. Upper 70s, low 80s, overnight lows. We could get close to record lows into the mid upper 50s out there. So that's going to be nice here soon.
Certainly so. Well, in the early morning hours last Sunday, deputies were dispatched to a call for service at the ice cream shop at Camp Richardson in South Lake Tahoe. The deputies could barely believe their eyes as they saw a large bear behind the counter of the shop. With some encouragement, the bear ultimately left, but only after showing interest in the strawberry ice cream.
Well, thankfully, Fuzzy the bear caused barely any property damage, and there was barely any cleanup. Of course, we've seen some of these where those bears or other animals. He does. Strawberry ice cream's not bad. Thankfully, he didn't wreck the place, because we've seen that where, deer or bears or whatever else gets into somebody's home.
He kind of looks like he's ready to help.
He does.
He's behind the counter.
Perhaps
ready to
he's
scoop up
actually
some
just
ice cream.
ready to be employed. Maybe that's what he was there looking for.
There you go, Fuzzy.
He'll work in exchange for strawberry ice cream.
How about that?
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this morning. We're back at noon with more news and weather.
Have a great rest of your morning.